What's up, everyday peoples? I'm here with Darnell Lewis.
Hey, what's up, everyday peoples?
Alright. You want to give them a brief description of who you are? What do you do?
I do some accounting and budgeting for companies. I consult myself out too. But my true passion is a financial educator. Sitting down with families and helping them out with their personal finance. That's my true passion.
So you're a financial consultant?
I'm a financial consultant for companies in general. But when it comes to families, it's more so on the personal finance tip.
Oh, so you're an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I've had the entrepreneur spirit for quite a long time, man. And I just been helping families with their finances for a little over about 6 years now.
Wow, that's a long time. Let me ask you a question. Where did you get this inspiration from?
When I used to work for a company out here called Enterprise Foundation, I was doing some accounting and budgeting, just graduated from Morgan State maybe 2 years prior to that with my degree in accounting. And I was doing some accounting and budgeting for this company, and I befriended the assistant treasurer. Great friend of mine today, is actually the godfather of my first son. But he sat down with me and he shared some financial concepts with me that just blew me away. With my background in accounting and budgeting, from most standards, I would say I was doing okay. 23 years old, I bought a single family home. At the age of 21, I had 2 cars, one was paid for, so I was doing okay financially. But he shared some concepts with me that just totally blew me away because I never learned these things in school. And I'm figuring, here I am with a degree in accounting and a lot of background and money, but I never learned any of these concepts. And I figured, if I don't know them with my background, chances are there's some people out there who don't know it either. And I just became a crusader and just wanted to share it with a lot of my friends and family. So I took Kyle out to sit with some of my friends and families. And just wanted him to share the same thing that he shared with me. And over time, my passion grew more and more as I saw that how he was helping out my friends and families. And I developed a desire to become a bigger crusader and go out and get some licenses through the state so that I can go out and spread the word and help more families.
Sounds pretty cool. How does it feel to be an entrepreneur in the respects of helping out people figure out their finances, whereas they wouldn't necessarily know how to? Is that like a gratifying feeling, or can you explain in your own words how does it feel to be an entrepreneur in that particular aspect?
Well, just to be an entrepreneur in general is liberty. I remember being about my early 20s, saying a prayer to God. I asked him, I said, if it's not in your will for me to become a multi-millionaire, just grant it so that I could generate enough income where I don't have to work for someone. So I always knew I had to be doing something, not working for someone else. So there were several different things that I did growing up, but it wasn't until my love for personal finances where I felt more freedom, more liberty of this is what I want to do, this is how I want to create the lifestyle for my family, and it's a blessing. Sometimes there are a lot of people out there doing things on the side, and I don't even really care if it's just selling bean pies at the corner. I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're doing something. But I encourage anyone out there who is an entrepreneur to take that leap of faith. once you feel confident that you can make it in the 1099 world, get rid of the W-2s. You'll be that much more happier. You'll wake up. There will be some times when you're scared out of your wits. But to be in a complete 1099 world where you can control your future, that's where it's at.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier you had the father, the godfather, your first child, Mr. Kyle. I can't recollect his first name, the last name at the moment. However, you guys work together, correct?
Yes.
What other companies did you work for, or was it just that one particular company?
After I graduated from college, I did some accounting for Bank of America. The company that I was working with Kyle was the Enterprise Foundation. It did like public housing. A lot of people got it confused with Enterprise Car Rental Company. Aon Risk Services out Owings Mills. I did some budgeting for them. So in the capacity of being an employee, where I received the W-2, those were the primary jobs I had coming out of college. And I've done some consulting, for other companies. Currently, right now, I'm in the third year of contract with the Housing Authority to do budgeting for them.
And what does that entail, if you mind the everyday people knowing?
When Barack got into office, there was a stimulus package that he passed that was to revitalize the economy, and Baltimore was awarded about $90 million, but there was a catch to receiving the money. It had to be spent to create jobs, of course, in the housing development industry, and the money all had to be spent within 3 years. So I just monitor the money, the finances daily, make sure that contractors are on track on meeting their goals, cutting checks, budgeting the money, and again, just making sure that everything is tracked and being spent within 3 years.
Sounds like a very interesting job.
It is interesting, but in all honesty, I sit there at times and I just have on my headphones listening to some personal development and just try to zone out, because there are just days where I don't even want to breathe the oxygen in there, and I'm just being honest. I look forward to when I leave there and going and sitting across the kitchen table with families and helping them out with their finances.
That's cool. How about Bank of America? How was it working with them?
It was very insightful. I actually think I was destined to work there so that I could have more of a conviction later on in life, as I began to sit down with personal families. To give you an idea, let's just say if you banked with Bank of America or any financial institution out there, if you were to go into that financial institution, on their wall, do you think you would find a mission statement that says, our goal is to help you become debt-free and financially independent?
Oh, you're asking me or the everyday people?
I'll ask you, Duclair. Do you think that's their mission statement on their wall to help you become debt-free and financially independent?
I'm actually have a bank account with Bank of America, and I've never seen that in any of their establishments that I've walked into. However, I get the feeling that they're just a business who making money from my money. Like, let's say, for instance, I create an account with them, I give them my money to hold, and according to what I've been taught, they fractionalize my money, whereas they make more money off of the fact that they have my money, and they charge me loans. Well, they charge me interest off of loans that I asked for and receive, which I should be getting anyway because I get my money to hold. So that's kind of weird. The whole banking system to me is weird. Can you explain to the everyday people about the banking system? Fractionalizing?
You did a great job, but I would make it simple for the everyday people. Duclair, you hit it right on the head. If you were to go down to your financial institution and you gave them, let's say, $10,000, you're not going to give that $10,000 to them. They rubber band it, stick it in the vault, and say it's going to wait right there for you to come back and get it. What they're going to do with your money is they're going to loan it out to your neighbor in the form of a credit card or any other loan, charge them 18, 20, 25% on your money that you put in there, and they're only going to pay you maybe 1% on your savings if you're lucky. So they just made the difference off of whose money?
My
your
money.
Can they afford to pay you a higher interest rate on your money? Definitely, but that's not what they're in business for. So working with Bank of America and looking at a lot of all other financial institutions out there, their goal is to make money, not to help you. They're not your friend. They're there to make money. So I just became a crusader when I learned some financial concepts that banks, credit unions, life insurance companies, mortgage companies, investment companies, all these companies know things, but they're not sharing it with our community. So I just wanted to get out there on the front force of the battlefield and share it with as many people as possible.
Wow, that was pretty powerful. I might have to hire you as my financial advisor and consultant. Let me ask you a question. Most business models, they're basically about goods and services to any specific target market. Who do you consider to be your target market?
Predominantly, I found that people that I'm able to help out the most are people who are married, own homes, have kids between maybe say 25 to 55, and have a job. But to be honest with you, Duclair, there has not been a single family or individual that I have sat down with that I have not been able to help in some area of their finances. I've sat down with a single mom who, let's just say, she had $100,000 worth of life insurance, and she was paying $25 a month for that life insurance. I sit down with her and show her how she could have $500,000 of life insurance for the same exact money. So, silly question, but if she died, do you think she wanted to leave her two kids $100,000 or $500,000? It's pretty obvious. And again, using the same money, but she did not know that was possible because what she was lacking was the education. I would probably say a lot of my gratification, now that I think of it, comes from helping single moms to see the tears in their face when we're done, and in many cases thanking me for coming, saying that I was the answer to the prayer that they had been saying for quite some time now. And that brings joy to my heart. If I sat down for family and show them how to pay off their mortgage 12 years sooner, freeing up $60,000 in interest, maybe freeing up $300-400 a month for that family, and instead of letting them take that $300-400 a month and go out and buy another car, I'll teach them how to put it in a mutual fund where they'd have $750,000 extra for retirement than what they were on track for, and not taking another penny out of that family's pocket. So every family I sit down with, I'm able to help in some form or fashion. So